I'm not lying in bed all day because I'm depressed. I'm lying in bed all day because I'm broke and I can't afford to do anything else.
I'm sorry, but when did it start costing $1 million to live in today's day and age? Look, I normally never complain about this stuff because I'm a travel nurse and I get free accommodation and a higher salary. But I don't get annual leave, I don't get sick leave, so when I'm not working, I notice it. And so far it's been fine. I have had 2 months off. I've just had 3 weeks unpaid placement and I still have another month off because I don't have a contract lined up yet. And so I don't feel like I have any reason to complain. But when the cost of bread is $4.50, that's fucked. I know it's so silly because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm complaining about the cost of bread. And then how much was milk? Let me check the milk was. This isn't even for me. I'm buying this for my niece and my nephew and like my sister because I'm staying at theirs. So I bought them some stuff for dinner as well. Okay, so milk was $4.50 and bread was $4.40. Because I don't drink I don't really drink milk. I usually just have like packet sachets for the coffee, like there's milk powder and that, so I never really need milk. And then I got some Kievs, which were reasonably cheap. I got 9 for $11, bananas $3 for 3, and then I got some sushi, and that was it. But then it came to $40.30 for 6 things. I got some garbage bags as well. So yeah, all of that cost me nearly as much as I make in 1 hour, and for someone with like a normal paying job, that's more than what they would earn in 1 hour. Like, the cost of living is just fucked, to be honest. I really don't know how people are surviving with children, with other dependents. Like, it's a lot.
If anyone wants to know how fucked the cost of food is in Australia right now, yesterday I scanned a bunch of grapes at the self-checkout and they were $17. I obviously had them take them off of my bill and put them back, but can anyone buy grapes for $17? And if so, please tell me what your career path has been.
I see my good friend Woolworths has turned over a $1.62 billion profit this year. Interesting. And Coles, you cheeky bitch. You've turned over a profit of $1.1 billion despite the cost of living crisis. What's also exceptionally interesting, and should surprise absolutely no one, is that theft is also up. So if you can't afford food, don't steal. Just starve. It's really, really easy. Because, you know, stealing is wrong. And you definitely shouldn't do it. At every possible opportunity.
And we will spend New Zealanders' money wisely and responsibly so that New Zealanders can keep more of what they earn, so that a household on the average income squeezed by the cost of living can have $100 more a fortnight, so that a worker on the median wage, an electrician or a plumber or a nurse, can have an additional $50 per fortnight, because that is more meaningful than another government strategy document. It's more meaningful than another visualisation of light rail on the front page of the paper. It's more meaningful than the members' opposite's smoke, mirrors and failed promises.
That's right.
I want to know how the hell people in Canada are even living. I generally consider myself a positive person. I'm like resourceful, but some stuff happened around the property, and like, well, I know I'll never truly be homeless. Like, I have family to live with, and you know, like, I have options. Like, I'm luckier than a lot of other people, but how the hell is anyone existing in Canada? Like, I feel trapped. And like I just got a good job. I started in September, but even with that job, it pays less than 40 grand a year. And it's a job that requires like education, and even on that job, like, I still can't do shit. I can't buy anything. I can't afford the rent these days. Like, I'm just feeling so much despair. And I know I'm normally like really, really positive, but I'm just like, how is everyone else, and are you okay? Because the answer is probably no. And I know I'm lucky. I don't have kids. I have like good family that will support me, but I feel like I can't stay here, but I can't move anywhere else, because anywhere else I move to, I'm gonna be charging, like, the landlords are just gonna charge me like $2,500 a month in rent. Like, unless I move into the middle of literally nowhere where there are 0 jobs, and I'm just feeling really overwhelmed. And like, I don't know. There's a part of me that just wants to say F it and just get a whole bunch of credit cards and just travel and just like get out of Canada, because like I know it's bad everywhere. I really do. But I don't know. I just, at 33 years old, like, I was really hoping that I could at the very least afford, you know, a small house. I don't want 3,100 square feet bullshit. I just want something small, 500 square feet, even less. And yet, it's so fucking expensive. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I was going to buy some berries for breakfast tomorrow.
Fuck, $10.90 for fucking box of strawberries. That's like $1 a strawberry. What, even better, box of blueberries, $6.70. Like $5 for a box of raspberries. And I think that's meant to mean they're on special. Jesus Christ, Coles.
So I'm sitting outside of Woolies waiting for it to open, and I'm thinking about the cost of living crisis and inflation and the fact that my rent has gone up and so have all of my bills, and like I literally can't afford to live. And I have a full-time job on a salary, so I don't know how some people are doing it, but I thought I'd tell you some of the things that I've had to give up because of the cost of living increases. So the first thing I've had to give up is eating. I can't afford to buy any of the foods that I like. I can't buy fruit. I can't buy snacks. I can't buy myself a cheeky Red Bull. What's that about? My fiance and I had to bulk buy meat from a butcher and keep it in the freezer, and I don't even like eating meat. I don't enjoy eating meat, but that's what I'm eating, meat with rice and pasta. The second thing I've had to give up is buying clothes. I can't even afford to look at a clothing store. I've lost a lot of weight recently and none of my clothes fit me, but I have to wear the outfits I already have on rotation, and I don't even like them, but that's what I have to do. The third thing I've given up is being a Swiftie. 1989 Taylor's version's coming out, and I can't afford to buy any of the vinyls, which really is hurting my little vinyl collector heart. But Taylor, what are you doing? Sell them for $1. Like, it's expensive here in Australia. The fourth thing I've given up is being happy.
Part 2 of things that I have given up as the cost of living increases.
Oh my god, I love this game. For me, number 1 is lunch. 3 meals a day. What am I, a millionaire? There is now breakfast and dinner, lunch, a third meal every day. Yeah, absolutely the fuck not. She mentioned fresh fruit. My number 2 is fresh anything. I have frozen berries, tinned fruit, frozen vegetables, frozen meat and fish, fresh food, insane. Number 3 would be prescription medications, medicines that I have been prescribed for my chronic illnesses, for my disabling health conditions. It is no longer possible for me to afford all of them, so some of them had to get cut. Number 4, therapy. I used to go every fortnight to do like EMDR and stuff to treat my PTSD. We were also starting to figure out how I learned to live in the world now that I know that I'm autistic and that I have all these sensory needs and other shit. But I can't afford that anymore, even with the Medicare rebate. And the last thing I've had to give up is hope.
Here are 3 more things I've had to give up as the cost of living has risen. For context, I am a full-time student, and for the past year and a half I've done unpaid placement. It's taken about 2 to 3 days of my week. Other days of the week I'm studying, so I have very little time to work, and so money is really tight. The first thing that I've completely cut out is drinking. Drinks are so expensive, I can't afford to buy my own drinks. Also, when you drink, you can't drive back home, so that means you might end up catching an Uber. I just have stopped drinking altogether because I just can't afford it. And by extension, I've stopped going out and hanging out with my friends. The other thing that I've cut out is I don't really get coffees much anyways, but when I do and I'm with my partner or my sister, instead of getting 2 small coffees, we'll just get a large one and split it. Otherwise, buying coffee for us individually is way too expensive. The third thing I've cut out is shampoo. It sounds really gross, but I think this applies to most of my beauty products where I've been trying to minimize it because continuously replacing them is just way too expensive for me. So instead, I just use conditioner and I don't wash my hair as frequently so I can make stuff stretch out a bit longer. I don't know why I'm embarrassed to say that because I feel like people would judge me for it, but oh well.
So I made a video a few weeks ago about the cost of living crisis, and it only has recently started to blow up. This is the video in question. And these are the sorts of comments I'm starting to get. You just aren't spending your money wisely. Now, holiday aside, the holiday I've just been on, everyone deserves to go on a holiday. I can't deny that the cost of living has significantly gone up. Anyways, I'm about to go to the shop and I'm going to just show you that I am right and how much things have gone up in price. Okay, I'm home now. I hope you get the picture. I also noticed that basically everything was half price, 40% off. So normally the prices of a lot of these things are actually double. Definitely recommend not the brands, just use home brand, Woolies and Coles brand because they're a lot cheaper. I also want to acknowledge for those that it's harder for at the moment, which is usually people with kids, families, dependents that they're looking after. And I acknowledge that I am in a privileged situation because I am on a higher salary, but that also comes with a lot of disadvantages as well. I do have an unstable income because it depends if I've got a contract or not. I am spending a lot of money having to rebuy things like food, and I'm away from my family and my friends. The only way that I can afford to save is if I'm away. That's how bad it is. Just think the cost of living at the moment is just disgusting and it needs to be talked about more and more.